Well, in our ever-continuing series of Inside London Scottish, I'm delighted to be joined inside on a beautifully sunny day, it has to be said. David Howells and Ollie Grove. Fellows, welcome. Good to see you. And David, this is the second time, I think. We had a chat very early on in the season.
Right at the start, wasn't it?
Now, just given that, we've not seen you much out there. What's the situation with yourself?
Unfortunately, I've had a bit of a sort of rubbishy season with regards to injuries. So I just took a knock on my foot against Leeds back in October. Had a couple of weeks out there and had an injection. Managed to play until just before Christmas, and then unfortunately just still with the same injury, struggled to get back, and unfortunately I've got to have an operation on that. So that's the season for me, which has been pretty unspectacular.
Oh, that's a great. Well, you look as though you've buffed up a bit there, and you've obviously been in the weight room, and it must be getting very frustrating.
Yeah, it's hugely frustrating. Obviously, waiting around for the operation and just sort of seeing all the boys go out, especially this time of year, it's really hard. But the boys are doing well, so as long as we keep performing, then it makes it a bit easier.
Ollie, luckily not so bad for yourself. I mean, you've had a pretty injury-free season, relatively speaking, compared to some of the injury lists we've had.
Yeah.
What's it like for the guys in the squad who aren't injured when you see the guys like Dave and so on injured? It must be difficult for you guys. You want them back, don't you, really?
Yeah, of course. The less injuries we have, the better, for the squad, and obviously for the coaches that, they want to pick from everyone. But, the kind of responsibility is on our shoulders a bit, because obviously, like to Dave, he's pretty frustrated. It'll probably perk him up a bit if we get a win.
Yeah.
So, it's kind of responsibilities on our shoulders to, perform on a Saturday or a Sunday whenever the game is, and if we do that, then I'm sure we're doing our bit for those guys, I suppose.
Now we're 3 weeks or halfway through the playoffs, it should be said, and it's a topsy-turvy thing. I mean, we were 2 wins, we were top of the table. Suddenly, Friday night last week, we went down to Plymouth. It has to be said, we came off seriously second best, and now we've dropped to third in that table. It's a real scary time of the season, isn't it, Ollie?
Yeah. Well, I don't want to say yes because I think we're still
showing up well. We're
still very confident. We've played everyone now. We've seen what everyone has to offer.
Yeah.
And in terms of a squad, we've got 2 good wins. We started well. There are lots of positives to draw from that.
Yeah.
But as I said, we played well below par on Friday, and we know that, and we know what we did wrong. We know what we did well, and we've got to put that right on Sunday, and we know what we've got to do, and we feel confident in doing so.
And I suspect there hasn't had to be a lot of analysis on Friday night's game. Actually, you've all done a lot of self-analysis from then, and you know what you've got to do. I mean, David, you're an old hand, dare I say, to a certain extent, but I'm certainly watching games now, and the frustration level of that. And when you see things not going right on the pitch, it must be incredibly frustrating. But can you give advice to some of the guys, or do you feel you don't want to? I mean,
no, I think there's enough analysis that goes on. Obviously, someone kind of talks to you, that's a bit different. But
because there's a great environment in the squad, isn't
really
there? And everybody's
really
really
close.
gelling well.
So I don't think certainly from being injured, it's hard enough not playing. So you don't need to sort of put your bit in as well. I think everyone knows, if things don't go to plan, then when you're on the pitch, you're the first person to put your hand up and say that, and that's how the squad is. So no, I certainly don't feel the need to go in and talk, but it was. I think Friday was just a tough night for everyone.
And one of those blips, maybe.
Yeah,
I mean, we've had a great season. I think it has to be said, and I think people will, appreciate the fact that the guys who've come into the squad have gelled really well. Now, you came on at 10 at half time. How was that? Because that's a massively responsible position to come into.
Yeah, I actually, I really enjoyed it. Obviously, I came on at 15-0 down. So it was a bit of a license to come on and play, if you like, which is, it's quite a nice position to be in. Which was, but. It was one of those, wherever I came on, you've got a responsibility when you come off the bench to make a difference and do yourself justice and do all the other boys justice. And whether I come on at 12 or fullback or 10, I'll go with the same mindset. But I enjoyed the 40 minutes I had, but just unfortunately it was
the wrong end.
Yeah, the wrong end, and it might have been too little, too late.
But that's the negative side. I mean, the positive side is we've got the opportunity to put it right now. We've got 3 games left. We've got the opportunity to put it straight away right. And actually, having these back-to-back games, some ways works in your favour, doesn't it? Because you sort of think, right, we've got 7 days in which to turn this around and make it, or 9 days, whatever it is. And I think the squad's positive about that, aren't they?
Yeah, everyone's very positive. We've proved that we can beat them here. We've proved that we can beat everyone in the playoffs because at some point in the season we've done that. And I don't think any of the boys are going to, go into it with their heads down or anything like that on Sunday. I don't think Friday will affect them. If anything, it'll spur them on. Yeah, maybe even more.
Now, we're almost through the first season in the Championship, back in the Championship as it were, as it is now. What would you say is the feeling amongst the boys? That obviously disappointed not to finish 8th,
Yeah.
but actually, you know, when you look at the quality of the play that we've put in the last few weeks, we've really come on, and I think it's getting used to that championship style of rugby, which is so different from level 3, isn't it?
Yeah, certainly. I think it's a huge step up in terms of physicality and clinicalness, and I think just performing for the 80 minutes consistently. I think in patches this year, you know, certainly lost a number of games in that last sort of 10, 5-minute period.
7 losing bonus points.
Yeah, in fact, even in injury time at a few of those games. So I think it's just maintaining performance for the full 80 minutes, and it's sort of keeping that consistency at this level where everyone is so clinical. You know, a little lapse in concentration, give away those penalties, those 3 points really do add up at this level. So.
And the physicality as well, Ollie. I mean, we've come up against some very big sides this season, haven't we?
Yeah, there are some, some very big physical packs, and you look at the likes of Rotherham,
Nottingham as well.
Nottingham are a big
with
pack,
their backs. I mean, not just the pack.
Yeah, but as I say, we beat them home and away this year, so we obviously proved that we can deal with those kind of sides, which is obviously a massive plus for us. Yeah. But I think over the course of the year, I think we've learned a lot about other teams, about our team, probably more so than anything else. And I think everyone's excited about next year, and all we've got to do is look after the next 3 games and assure that. And
actually, it comes down to that. It's as simple as that. We've got to look after it. It's in our hands, which is great as well. It's not in someone else's. And the one thing in these interviews I always try and talk about is the fans, because I know you guys really appreciate the support when we're at home and also away, of course, but actually the noise and the difference they can make in supporting you during the game.
Yeah. I can't express how important that is. When we've got a big crowd down there and they're making a lot of noise and get behind the boys, it makes a huge difference. And we can't. The more the merrier for us, and the more noise you make, the better. That's all I can say.
Brilliant. And David, I mean, you're in the crowd, unfortunately, most of the time at the moment, but you can feel it from there, can't you?
Yeah, no, certainly. I think it makes a huge difference. You look ahead to Sunday, it's going to be hopefully a lovely day at the Athletic Ground, and it's completely different to playing Plymouth away on a Friday night at
Bring your
their
picnics,
place. I think it can make a huge difference to players. You get the Ralph and the bagpipes going, and it can be a really hard place.
You might even get all the notes in the right order. We never know. I mean, we can with a sunny day, it'd be extraordinary. But no, it is great, and it's that real rugby club feeling. And I think that's the one thing that London Scottish hasn't lost through professionalism, is the fact that it is still a rugby club where you can bring your kids, you can enjoy the day and have some great fun. Look, guys. Great. I wish you so much luck for Sunday. David, so much luck with your injury as well. Come and buy him a pint if you're coming down on Sunday. Please try and come down on Sunday. We've got 2 home games left this season, and it's so important. Your support is absolutely vital. Guys, great stuff. Thank you very much.
Thank you.